ପାଇ। ମରମ ମଝିରେ ଛବିଟି ତୁମର, ମରମ ମଝିରେ ଛବିଟି ତୁମର, ପ୍ରୀତି ପଲ୍ଲବରେ ଆଙ୍କିବା ପାଇଁ, ପ୍ରୀତି ପଲ୍ଲବରେ ଆଙ୍କିବା ପାଇଁ। ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ, ଯେତେ ଦେଖୁଥିଲେ ତୁମ ରୂପ ଠାଣି। ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ, ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ। ଯେତେ ଶୁଣୁଥିଲେ ତୁମ ମଧୁବାଣୀ, ଭଲ ଲାଗେ ପୁଣି ଶୁଣିବା ପାଇଁ। ଯେତେ ଶୁଣୁଥିଲେ ତୁମ ମଧୁବାଣୀ, ଭଲ ଲାଗେ ପୁଣି ଶୁଣିବା ପାଇଁ। କିଏ ବାଟ କିଏ ଅବାଟ ମୋ ଲାଗି, କିଏ ବାଟ କିଏ ଅବାଟ ମୋ ଲାଗି, ତୁମ ଆଲୁଅରେ ଜାଣିବା ପାଇଁ, ତୁମ ଆଲୁଅରେ ଜାଣିବା ପାଇଁ। ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ, ଯେତେ ଦେଖୁଥିଲେ ତୁମ ରୂପ ଠାଣି। ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ, ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ। ଯେତେ ଗାଉଥିଲେ ନାମଟି ତୁମର, ଭଲ ଲାଗେ ପୁଣି ଗାଇବା ପାଇଁ। ଯେତେ ଗାଉଥିଲେ ନାମଟି ତୁମର, ଭଲ ଲାଗେ ପୁଣି ଗାଇବା ପାଇଁ। ମଧୁର ରାଗିଣୀ ବିଧୁର ବୀଣାର, ମଧୁର ରାଗିଣୀ ବିଧୁର ବୀଣାର, ଚେତନାର ତାରେ ବାହିବା ପାଇଁ, ଚେତନାର ତାରେ ବାହିବା ପାଇଁ। ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ, ଯେତେ ଦେଖୁଥିଲେ ତୁମ ରୂପ ଠାଣି। ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ, ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ। ଯେତେ ପାଉଥିଲେ ତୁମରି ଆଶିଷ, ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ପାଇବା ପାଇଁ। ଯେତେ ପାଉଥିଲେ ତୁମରି ଆଶିଷ, ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ପାଇବା ପାଇଁ। ସେଇ ଆଶିଷରେ ଦୁଃଖୀ ଜୀବନର, ସେଇ ଆଶିଷରେ ଦୁଃଖୀ ଜୀବନର, ସକଳ ଯାତନା ଧୋଇବା ପାଇଁ, ସକଳ ଯାତନା ଧୋଇବା ପାଇଁ। ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ, ଯେତେ ଦେଖୁଥିଲେ ତୁମ ରୂପ ଠାଣି। ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ, ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ। ଯେତେ ଲଟୁଥିଲେ ତୁମରି ସେବାରେ, ଭଲ ଭଲ ଲାଗେ ପୁଣି ଲଟିବା ପାଇଁ ଯେତେ ଲଟୁଥିଲେ ତୁମରି ସେବାରେ ଭଲ ଲାଗେ ପୁଣି ଲଟିବା ପାଇଁ ତୁମ ପୂଜା ଲାଗି ଶ୍ରୀ ଚରଣ ତଳେ ତୁମ ପୂଜା ଲାଗି ଶ୍ରୀ ଚରଣ ତଳେ ଫୁଲଟିଏ ହୋଇ ଫୁଟିବା ପାଇଁ ଫୁଲଟିଏ ହୋଇ ଫୁଟିବା ପାଇଁ ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଯେତେ ଦେଖୁଥିଲେ ତୁମ ରୂପ ଠାଣି ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ମରମ ମଝିରେ ଛବିଟି ତୁମର ମରମ ମଝିରେ ଛବିଟି ତୁମର ପ୍ରୀତି ପଲ୍ଲବରେ ଆଙ୍କିବା ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରୀତି ପଲ୍ଲବରେ ଆଙ୍କିବା ପାଇଁ ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଯେତେ ଦେଖୁଥିଲେ ତୁମ ରୂପ ଠାଣି ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ମନ ହୁଏ ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ। ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ। আজি আনন্দ জুয়ারে মন ভাসিরে প্রিয়তম আসিবে তো পাশে রে প্রিয়তম আসিবে তো পাশে রে আজি আনন্দ জুয়ারে মন ভাসিরে প্রিয়তম আসিবে তো পাশে রে প্রিয়তম আসিবে তো পাশে রে মমতা ভরা তাଙ୍କ চোরা চাহনি পলক মাত্রে মন নেবে টিকিনি মমতা ভরা তাଙ୍କ চোরা চাহনি পলক মাত্রে মন নেবে টিকিনি দিবা ভক্তি পুষ্পাঞ্জଳି ତାଙ୍କ ପଦରେ ଦେବା ଭକ୍ତି ପୁଷ୍ପାଞ୍ଜଳି ତାଙ୍କ ପଦରେ ପ୍ରିୟତମ ଆସିବେ ତ ପାଶେ ରେ ପ୍ରିୟତମ ଆସିବେ ତ ପାଶେ ରେ আজি ଆନନ୍ଦ ଜୁଆରେ ମନ ଭାସିରେ আজি আনন্দ জুয়ারে মন ভাসিরে প্রিয়তম আসিবে তো পাশে রে প্রিয়তম আসিবে তো পাশে রে প্রেমর ঠাকুর খালি প্রেম পসরা আଣିবে আমরি পাই অমৃত ধারা প্রেমর ঠাকুর খালি প্রেম পসরা আଣିবে আমরি পাই অমৃত ধারা আজি স্বর্গীয় আনন্দ খেলে ধরারে আজি স্বর্গীয় আনন্দ খেলে ধরারে প্রিয়তম আসিবে তো পাশে রে প্রিয়তম আসিবে তো পাশে রে আজি আনন্দ জুয়ারে মন ভাসিরে ଆସିବ ଜୀବନେ ଆମ ଶୁଭ লগନ ଭକ୍ତ ଭଗବାନ ମେଳ ହେବ ଏ ସ୍ଥାନ ଆସିବ ଜୀବନ ଆମ ଶୁଭ লগନ ଭକ୍ତ ଭଗବାନ ମେଳ ହେବ ଏ ସ୍ଥାନ ଆଜି ସିଂହରଣ ଜାଗି ତନୁ ମନରେ ଆଜି ସିଂହରଣ ଜାଗି ତନୁ ମନରେ প্রিয়তম আসিবে তপসেরে প্রিয়তম আসিবে তপসেরে আজি আনন্দ জুয়ারে মন ভাসিরে প্রিয়তম আসিবে তপসেরে প্রিয়তম আসিবে তপসেরে প্রিয়তম আসিবে তপসেরে
ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଗୀତ
হে আস পরাণ ইস পূজা মণ্ডপে আস আস হে আস পরাণ ইস পূজা মণ্ডপে আস पूजिबु तुम चरण जोग पूजिबु तुम चरण जोग मेंटिब मन आस आस हे आस पराण ईश पूजा मंडपे आस गुंथिचु माला नीति मानसे गले लंबाई देबु सरसे गुंथिचु माला नीति मानसे गले लंबाई देबु सरसे चरण तले नुआई सिर चरण तले नुआई सिर पराण हेब तोष आस हे आस पराण ईश पूजा मंडपे आस आस हे आस पराण ईश पूजा मंडपे आस तुमे तो आम हृदयेश्वर बांधव चिर कोटि जन्मर तुमे तो आम हृदयेश्वर बांधव चिर कोटि जन्मर तुमरी सेवा आम करम तुमरी सेवा आम करम आमे जे नित्य दास आस हे आस पराण ईश पूजा मंडपे आस आस हे आस पराण ईश पूजा मंडपे आस भव बन्धन मोचन पूज्य वर गुणहीन शेष गुणाधिपति भव भीरु जने सत तम्बर प्रणमामि गुरुं शिव कल्पतरु।
जयगुरु सुकन्या टिके अपेक्षा करंतु टिके गोटे मिनिट। जयगुरु मा बोलंतु।
वन्दनानिया देववन्दनानिया वन्दनानिया देववन्दनानिया दीनानां कोटि चंदानिया दीनानां कोटि चंदानिया वन्दनानिया देववन्दनानिया वन्दनानिया तव पदे सतदा कमला दिला तव पदे सतदा कमला दिला भकत चोराई मधु मकरंद बांस भकत चोराई मधु मकरंद बांस तुमी चिर सुंदर तुमी चिर सुंदर तुमी लीलामया तुमी चिर सुंदर तुमी लीलामया वन्दनानिया देववन्दनानिया वन्दनानिया कोटिरवि ससीता चहट चापा कोटिरवि ससीता चहट चापा तुम कोटि तटे माणिक रेखा तुम कोटि तटे माणिक रेखा तुमी तिनी भुवनर तुमी तिनी भुवनर ऐश्वर्यमया तुमी तिनी भुवनर ऐश्वर्यमया वन्दनानिया वन्दनीया देववन्दनीया वन्दनीया प्रेमारा गौरांगा तुम ज्ञानारा संकार प्रेमारा गौरांगा तुम ज्ञानारा संकार नित्यारा अमृता तो गुरु पारा नित्यारा अमृता तो गुरु पारा मधुर मोहन रूपा मधुर मोहन रूपा आनंदमय मधुर मोहन रूपा आनंदमय वन्दनीया देववन्दनीया वन्दनीया तुम गायिनाची गंध समीरा तुम गायिनाची गंध समीरा सुरारा किन्नारा नीलपारा बा सुरारा किन्नारा नीलपारा बारा तुम्ही जीवा नंदना तुम्ही जीवा नंदना मंगला माया तुम्ही जीवा नंदना मंगला माया वन्दनीया देववन्दनीया वन्दनीया दीना जाना कोटि माना दीना जाना कोटि माना चंदना निया दीना जाना कोटि माना चंदना निया वन्दनीया देववन्दनीया वन्दनीया देववन्दनीया वन्दनीया जय गुरु परिचय पत्र पाठ करिया ମୁଁ ଠାକୁର ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ନିଗମାନନ୍ଦ ସରସ୍ୱତୀ ଦେବଙ୍କୁ
ମୁଁ ଠାକୁର ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ନିଗମାନନ୍ଦ ସରସ୍ୱତୀ ଦେବଙ୍କୁ
एकमात्र गुरु एवं इष्ट रूपे वरण करिଅछि
एकमात्र गुरु एवं इष्ट रूपे वरण करिଅछि
एवं तांको प्रदत्त जय गुरु सिद्ध मंत्र ग्रहण करी
ଏବଂ ତାଙ୍କ ପ୍ରଦତ୍ତ ଜୟଗୁରୁ ସିଦ୍ଧମନ୍ତ୍ର ଗ୍ରହଣ କରି
ନୀଳାଚଳ ସାରସ୍ୱତ ସଂଘ ପୁରୀଙ୍କ ନିର୍ଦ୍ଦେଶରେ
ନୀଳାଚଳ ସାରସ୍ୱତ ସଂଘ ପୁରୀଙ୍କ ନିର୍ଦ୍ଦେଶରେ
ପରିଚାଳିତ ହେବା ପାଇଁ ସ୍ୱୀକୃତି ପ୍ରଦାନ କରୁଅଛି।
ପରିଚାଳିତ ହେବା ପାଇଁ ସ୍ୱୀକୃତି ପ୍ରଦାନ କରୁଅଛି।
ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର କହୁଛନ୍ତି, ବତ୍ସ, ମୁଁ ସଦ୍ଗୁରୁ, ମୋ ଭିତରେ ଜଗଦ୍ଗୁରୁଙ୍କ ଇଚ୍ଛା ହିଁ ଲୀଳାୟିତ ହୋଇଉଠିଛି। ତୁମମାନଙ୍କୁ ମୁକ୍ତିପଥ ପ୍ରଦର୍ଶନ କରାଇବା ହିଁ ମୋର କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ। ଯେଉଁମାନେ ମୋ ଉପରେ ନିର୍ଭର କରି ବସିଛ, ମୁଁ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ହାତ ଧରି ମୁକ୍ତିଧାମକୁ ନେଇଯିବି। ତୁମ ଠାକୁର ସଦ୍ଗୁରୁ, କେବଳ ଏତିକି ବିଶ୍ୱାସ ଥିବା ଆବଶ୍ୟକ। ମା ମାନଙ୍କ ପ୍ରତି ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଉପଦେଶ। ମା, ମାତୃତ୍ୱରେ ହୃଦୟ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ କର। ରମଣୀତ୍ୱ ଶୈତାନର ଉଚ୍ଛିଷ୍ଟ, ସୁତରାଂ ଜନନୀତ୍ୱ ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଶ୍ରୀ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ପବିତ୍ର ମୂର୍ତ୍ତି ଅନ୍ୟ କାହାରି ନୟନ ଗୋଚର ହୁଏ ନାହିଁ। ସେ ସର୍ବତ୍ର ବିଦ୍ୟମାନ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଭକ୍ତର ଉପଯୁକ୍ତ ଅବସ୍ଥା ନ ଆସିବା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସେ ସମ୍ମୁଖକୁ ଆସି ଦର୍ଶନ ଦାନ କରନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ। ସେ ସଂସାର ବହ୍ନିରେ ଭକ୍ତକୁ ଜଳାଇ ପୋଡ଼ାଇ ଉପଯୁକ୍ତ କରି ନିଅନ୍ତି। ମୁଁ ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦ କରୁଛି, ତୁମେ ସେହି ମାତୃତ୍ୱରେ ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠିତ ହୁଅ ଏବଂ ଚିରଦିନ ନିମିତ୍ତ ସେହି ମାତୃସତ୍ତାରେ ବିଲୀନ ହୋଇଯାଅ। ତୁମେମାନେ ମୋର ଅନ୍ତରଙ୍ଗ ଭକ୍ତ। ସୁତରାଂ ତୁମେମାନେ ସଂସାର ତାପରେ ତାପିତ ହୋଇ ଅଶାନ୍ତି ମଧ୍ୟରେ ଥାଇ ଭଗବତ ମହିମା ପ୍ରଚାର ନ କଲେ ଆଉ କରିବ କି? ସ୍ୱଗଣ ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଆଉ କେହି ସେ ପରୀକ୍ଷା ଦେଇପାରିବେ ନାହିଁ। ତେଣୁ ଭଗବାନ କବି ମୁଖରେ କହିଛନ୍ତି, ପରୀକ୍ଷା ନୟ ମମ ସ୍ୱଗଣ କାତର। ମା, ଏ ସଂସାର ମାୟାର ଖେଳ ଘର, ଅଜ୍ଞାନତାର ମୋହିନୀ ମୂର୍ତ୍ତି। ତେଣୁ ସୁଖ ଯେ ବାହାରେ ନାହିଁ, ଅଛି ନିଜ ଅନ୍ତରରେ। ସୁଖ ଭୋଗରେ ନାହିଁ, ଅଛି କେବଳ ତ୍ୟାଗରେ ବା ଯୋଗରେ। ବାହ୍ୟ ବିଷୟ ସଂସ୍ପର୍ଶରେ ଯେଉଁ ସୁଖ, ତାହା ଆସକ୍ତି, ପାପ କଳୁଷିତ। ମନ ଦ୍ୱାରା ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ସ୍ୱରୂପ ଉପଲବ୍ଧି ହିଁ ପ୍ରକୃତ ନିର୍ମଳ ପବିତ୍ର ସୁଖ। ତୁମେ ମନ ପ୍ରାଣ ପବିତ୍ର କରି ସଚ୍ଚିଦାନନ୍ଦ ଶ୍ରୀ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ନାମ ରୂପ ଚିନ୍ତା କର ଓ ମୁଖରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଜୟ ଉଚ୍ଚାରଣ କର। ଯେତେ ପରିମାଣରେ ଚିତ୍ତ ଶୁଦ୍ଧ ଭାବ ଧାରଣ କରିବ, ସେତେ ପରିମାଣରେ ତୁମେ ନିର୍ମଳ ସୁଖ ଅନୁଭବ କରିପାରିବ। ସେତେବେଳେ ବାହିକ ସୁଖ ଦୁଃଖରେ କିମ୍ବା ଲୋକଙ୍କ କଥାରେ ମନ ବିଚଳିତ ହେବ ନାହିଁ ଓ ସାଂସାରିକ ଘାତ ପ୍ରତିଘାତରେ ଅଶାନ୍ତି ଭୋଗ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବନି। ଏହା ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଶାନ୍ତି ଲାଭର ଅନ୍ୟ ପନ୍ଥା ନାହିଁ। ବତ୍ସେ, ପୁତ୍ର କନ୍ୟା ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଭଗବତ ଜ୍ଞାନରେ ସୁଖ ପାଇ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଯତ୍ନ ନିଅ। ଗୁରୁଜନ ମାନଙ୍କର ଅବାଧ୍ୟ ହୁଅ ନାହିଁ। ଯଥାସାଧ୍ୟ ଦୀନ ଦୁଃଖୀ ମାନଙ୍କର ଉପକାର କର। କେବେ ହେଲେ ଆଚାର ଲଙ୍ଘନ କର ନାହିଁ। ମା, ତୁମେ ବାହ୍ୟ ବିଷୟରୁ ସୁଖ ଆଶା ତ୍ୟାଗ କରି ଅନ୍ତରର ଅନ୍ତରତମ ପ୍ରଦେଶରେ ବୁଡ଼ି ଯାଇ ମୋତେ ଖୋଜିଲେ ଦେଖିବ, ମୁଁ ଜଗଜ୍ଜନନୀଙ୍କୁ କୋଳରେ ଧରି ତୁମ ହୃଦୟ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ କରି ବସି ରହିଛି। ବତ୍ସେ, ସେତେବେଳେ ଯାଇ ତୁମର ସମସ୍ତ ଅଭାବ ଦୂର ହେବ। ତୁମେ କେବଳ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ ସର୍ବସ୍ୱ ସମର୍ପଣ କରି ସର୍ବାନ୍ତଃକରଣରେ ତାଙ୍କରି ନାମ ଉଚ୍ଚାରଣ କରିଯାଅ। ବତ୍ସେ, ବାହାରେ ମୋର ଦର୍ଶନ ନ ପାଇଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ତୁମର କିଛି ମାତ୍ର କ୍ଷତି ହେବ ନାହିଁ। ବାହିକ ବିଷୟ ମାତ୍ରକେ ମାଇକ ବୋଲି ଜାଣିବ। ତୁମେ ମୋତେ ଅନ୍ତରରେ ଦର୍ଶନ କରିବାକୁ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ କର। ବାହ୍ୟ ଦେହ ଦ୍ୱାରା ବାହ୍ୟ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ କରିବ ଓ ଅନ୍ତରରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଧରି ରଖିଥିବ। ମା, ମୁଁ ଦେହସ୍ଥ, ଏହା ଭୁଲି ମୁଁ ତୁମର ହୃଦୟସ୍ଥ ବୋଲି ଚିନ୍ତା କର। ଦୂରତ୍ୱର ବ୍ୟବଧାନ ଘୁଞ୍ଚିଯିବ। ମା, ତୁମେ ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ମୋତେ ଦର୍ଶନ କରିବାକୁ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ କର। ମନେ କରିବ ତୁମର ସ୍ୱାମୀ ଜଗତ୍ ସ୍ୱାମୀ ଏବଂ ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କର ସ୍ୱାମିତ୍ୱ ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ସତ୍ତା ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଅନ୍ୟ କିଛି ନୁହେଁ। ଏତିକି ଭାବନାରେ ନାରୀ ଜନ୍ମ ସାର୍ଥକ ହୋଇଯିବ। ପ୍ରାଣରେ ଅଫୁରନ୍ତ ଆନନ୍ଦର ସ୍ରୋତ ପ୍ରବାହିତ ହେବ। ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦ କରୁଛି, ତୁମେ ସେଇ ଭାବର ଅଧିକାରିଣୀ ହୁଅ। ସ୍ୱାମୀ ହିଁ ନାରୀମାନଙ୍କର ଗୁରୁ। କାୟ ମନ ବାକ୍ୟରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଆଦେଶ ପାଳନ ଓ ତାଙ୍କରି ସେବା ହିଁ ନାରୀମାନଙ୍କର ପରମ ଧର୍ମ। ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କୁ ଗୁରୁ ବ୍ରହ୍ମ ଜ୍ଞାନରେ ସୁଖ ପାଇ ଭଗବତ ନିର୍ଭରତା ରକ୍ଷା କରିପାରିଲେ ହିଁ ନାରୀ ଜନ୍ମ ସାର୍ଥକ ହେବ। ଗୃହିଣୀର ସ୍ୱାମୀ ସେବା ଓ ସନ୍ତାନ ପାଳନ ସ୍ୱଧର୍ମ। ତେଣୁ ନାରୀମାନଙ୍କର ସାଧନ ଭୋଜନର ସମୟ ଅଳ୍ପ। ସୁତରାଂ ସର୍ବଦା ଗୁରୁ ନାମ ଜପ କରିବାକୁ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ କରିବ। ସଧବା ନାରୀମାନେ ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ ଏବଂ ବିଧବା ନାରୀମାନେ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କୁ ଚିନ୍ତା କରିବେ। ଅନ୍ୟଥା ଧର୍ମ ବା ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ ଛାଡ଼ି କେବଳ ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କ ଚିନ୍ତା କଲେ ସେଥିରେ ବିନ୍ଦୁ ମାତ୍ର ଉନ୍ନତି ହେବ ନାହିଁ। ମା, ଏ ଜଗତରେ ରାଜରାଣୀ ଠାରୁ ଭିକାରୁଣୀ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ସମାନ ଅଭାବ। ଭାବରାଜ୍ୟରେ ଉପନୀତ ନ ହେବା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ କାହାରି ଅଭାବ ଦୂର ହେବ ନାହିଁ। ମା, ତୁମେ ଜୀବଜଗତକୁ ସୁଖ ପାଇବାକୁ ଶିକ୍ଷା କର। ସକଳ ଅଭାବ ମେଣ୍ଟିଯିବ। ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ।
जय गुरु। जय विश्वपति शिवा स्वरूप है। जय विश्वपति शिवा स्वरूप है। परमानंद दाई चंद्र रूप है। परमानंद दाई चंद्र रूप है। जय शारदा जगताईश्वर। जय शारदा जगताईश्वर। जगत्पति घे नमोर नमस्कार। जगत्पति घे नमोर नमस्कार। जय सकल विबुध आश्रय हे। जय सकल विबुध आश्रय हे। जय ब्रह्म स्वरूप सदाशय हे। जय ब्रह्म स्वरूप सदाशय हे। सती प्राणाधिक प्रिय पातीश्वर। सती प्राणाधिक प्रिय पातीश्वर। जगत्पति घे नमोर नमस्कार। जगत्पति घे नमोर नमस्कार। जय पूजन मास्य हृदयाधार। जय पूजन मास्य हृदयाधार। जय स्वामी पंच प्राण अधीश्वर। जय स्वामी पंच प्राण अधीश्वर। जय नयन तार। जय नयन तारका ज्ञानधार। जगत्पति घे नमोर नमस्कार। जगत्पति घे नमोर नमस्कार। जय नियानन्द प्रदायक हे जय नियानन्द प्रदायक हे तुमी ब्रह्मासि बालक हे तुमी ब्रह्मासि लोकपालक हे पतिब्रह्म स्वरूप निर्गुणधर पति ब्रह्म स्वरूप निर्गुणधर जगत्पति घे नमस्कार जगत्पति घे नमस्कार जय भू बन मोहन पूर्ण इंदु जय भू बन मोहन पूर्ण इंदु जय पत्नी प्राणाधिकदया सिन्धु जय पत्नी प्राणाधिकदया सिन्धु दासी सर्वदोषनाथ क्षमा कर दासी सर्वदोषनाथ क्षमा कर दासी सर्वदोषनाथ क्षमा कर तब पद कंजे कोटि नमस्कार तब पद कंजे कोटि नमस्कार तव पद कंजे कोटि नमस्कार तव पद कंजे कोटि नमस्कार तव पद कंजे कोटि नमस्कार जय
Jai Guru, Nigamopadesha, the fundamental and the physical. Guru Sishya relationship is spiritual. Physically, a guru cannot have more than 5 disciples. Practice to speak the feeling of heart through its language. Be adorned with patience and gravity. Conceal the inner feeling within. One day you will realize Mahabhava, supreme feeling. God has prepared the path to spiritual realm through the world. I am Guru. If you, ignoring my advice and instruction, live under the spell of instincts, how can I treat you as my disciple? Recite Nama regularly. The household sadhakas should live in brahmacharis. Build yourself according to the principles laid down in my book, Brahmacharya Sadhana. On meeting with me, I shall advise you more in this connection. After becoming my disciple, if you laud and describe my glory to others and persuade them to be my disciples, people will consider you the broker of Gurudeva. Do you need not say others anything about me? If you become happy and contented, you will notice that people will be automatically attracted towards me, following your idol. However, by preaching and singing the glory of God, people are inclined to religion. There is no harm in such an endeavor. Dear child, just as God in the absence of attributes and power is meaningless for Jiva, similarly in the absence of devotees, the identity of Gurudeva is fruitless. If there is no manifestation of Gurudeva in the heart of the disciple, the discipleship also goes in vain. आगे पढ़िए भाई नहीं तो रखिदेवे
ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ ରଖନ୍ତୁ।
जय गुरु।
जय गुरु। नीलाचल सारसंग पुरी ब्रांच अमेरिका सारस्वत संघ 1012th Sangha Puja session report. Date and time July 26, 2026, 7:15 to 12 p.m. Palya, Dibyam and Gyanavai. Adhivasa Puja was held at Nigam Smriti Mandira from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time on July 25th, 2026. After Stotra Vandana, Upadesa and Mahapurusha Prasanga from Sangha Sabha 21.1 was read. Attendance sheet is available in the member section of AMSA's website. First session, July 26, 2026, 7:15 a.m. to 8:45 a.m. The morning session of Puja started at 7:15 a.m. with Pratikya. Miluma started the Pratikya with song Nirava Nisithe, followed by Nirliptama singing Dekhiba Pora Asore Aso. While the songs were sung, all the devotees joined Puja either at Smriti Mandira or via teleconference. Sanujit Bhai performed the Arati, then Vishwajit Bhai led the singing of Vandana, Vandai Gurucharana and Sutra Vandana. Anjana Ma read Sri Sri Guru Gita, Sloka 77, followed by Vishwajit Bhai leading the reading of Parichapatra, followed by Samrani Prarthana and Bhakta Nivasani Prarthana. And then Baroda Bhai read Sangha Sevaka 29th year part 4, Vandana Prarthana and Prarthana Gangapati. The summary of reading is as follows. When we perform all the duties following Guru's orders / directions, our accumulated karma depletes, resulting in purification of mind, which in turn enables us to perform seva of our Gurudev. This process enables us to progress in the path of Prema Bhakti. Then Gyanabhai invited Sri Thakur, Bhai, Maj and young aspirants to attend the second session, preceded by invitation of Balya Bhoga and Prasad Sevan. The first session was concluded with Jai Guru Namakirtana. Balya Bhoga was offered to Sri Sri Thakur Maharaj. All bhaktas present at NSM were served with Balya Prasad. Second session, July 26, 2026, 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. The second session of the puja started at 9:30 a.m. with Abahana. Bhaktima sang the song Sedinoku Asakari, followed by Gyanabhai singing Rahi Rahi Aji Tume Dayanidhi. And this was followed by Prarthana Gana and opening of the asana. Then Uditama sang the Vandana Eki Dekhila Akhi. Susrima read Nigama Upadesa, pages 150 to 151. Following that, Prabhakar Bhai read the minutes of the last Sangha Puja. Jagannath Bhai from Kendra Sevaka Sangha joined as the representative from our parent organization and led the discussion. Some of the highlights of the discussions are: the only goal in a Sevaka's life is fully surrendered to Guru. Thinking about our Gurudev continuously withdraws the mind from mundane thoughts. Thakur says to follow Vedanta, to know who he is, and then follow Prema Bhakti path for spiritual progress. He has also emphasized karma along with jnana and bhakti for a wholesome spiritual journey. Ideal Sangha is the one who follows Guru's orders and surrenders to him completely. Prandan Bhai then sang Prarthana Sangita Emiti Jane Sara Jagate. The young aspirant session started with a song by Simran, Ei Jibane Thakura Tume. Then Bhaktima led the discussions in the young aspirant session with book reading and discussion. After that, Dibyam and Gyan Bhai did their Bhavavinibhav Seva, followed by the invitation for Madhyana Bhoga and evening puja. And then Divyans and Sonalima invited Sri Thakura and everyone else for the next Sangha Puja to be held on August 2nd, 2026. followed by Gyano Bhai praying for forgiveness from Sri Sri Thakura, all Bhais, Mahas and young aspirants for any mistakes that might have occurred during the puja. The session was concluded with Vidaya Prarthana sung by Rashmi Chaudhuri Ma, and then asana was closed with Jai Guru Mahanama Kirtana, Jai Guru Nama Kirtana and Pranama. And then Vishwajit Bhai took the attendance of all Bhais and Mahas present in the puja. Madhyana Bhoga was offered to Sri Sri Thakura, followed by Prasad Sevan Sri Sri Thakura Charanasita, Divyam and Gyano Bhai. Jai Guru.
जय गुरु सद्गुरु निगमानंद देव पंच सन्यासिनी शिष्य आज पढ़े सन्यासिनी शांतिमयी देवी पृष्ठा 268 प्राय 35 वर्ष बयस संध्या माँ यहलोक त्याग कले सी आउ किछि दिन बंची रही हुए तो श्री श्री ठाकुर मठाश्रम और देश दशर बहुत कल्याण साधन करें यथा समय मर शरीर को प्रचुर फूलमाड़ और सुबास चंदन सज्जित करागला अंतिम शय्या साईता ज्योतिर्मयी संध्या माँ प्रति दृष्टिपात मात्रके समस्त चक्षुरु अबारित अश्रुधारा प्रवाहित होता आमे माने से दिन तांको पदरे शेष प्रणाम जणाई तांको चिर विदाय देइथिलु। संध्या माँकर बहु उपदेश मु प्राय भूली जाइछि किंतु तन्मध्यरु गोटे दुईटी मात्र मोर स्पष्ट स्मरण अछि। से समय समय कहूथिले देख सोई पड़िथिले जे अधिक शोइबाकु प्रेरणा दिए से केबे मित्र नुहे आउ जे सेही निद्रा भंग करी श्री भगवान का नाम उच्चारण करिया निर्देश दियंती से ही यथार्थ बंधु। संध्या माँ को आमे तांको जीवन संध्यार ही लाभ करिथिलु तांकरी हेतु श्री ठाकुर दर्शन और कृपा लाभ करी आम मानकर जीवन धन्य और जन्म सार्थक होइछि। कहिबाकु गले वर्तमान बाह्यत ए जीवन उभय को ही आमे हराई बसिछु। संध्या माँ को चिर विदाय ग्रहणर प्राय 3 वर्ष परे एकदा आम ढाका टीकाटुली बसारे श्री ठाकुर पदार्पण करथिले। सेही स्थान रे श्री ठाकुर श्री नरेंद्र चंद्र पाकड़ासी स्त्री को दीक्षा प्रदान करथिले। श्री ठाकुर आसीथिबारु भक्त शिष्य माने यातायात करुथांती। दिने प्रातः काल रे श्री ठाकुर तमाकु सेवन करुथुआ बेले मते डकाई प्रश्न कले, अच्छा तुमे केते दिन हब स्वप्न रे शांति को दर्शन करिना? मु बहु दिन हब तांको स्वप्न रे देखि नाही बोली कहिया परे श्री ठाकुर कहिले सी तुमको देखिया पे आसीथिला। झरका निकटरे गोटे गंगशिउली गछ को देखाई श्री ठाकुर पुणी कहिले सेहीठारे शांति ठिया होइथिला। मु प्रथमे हतमम्ब ओ परे व्यस्त होई इतस्तत निरीक्षण करिवारु श्री ठाकुर कहिले से बहु समय पूर्व चली गलानी। मो मन रे दुख भरीगला। भाविले ठाकुर कहीं संध्या माँ को देखिया मात्रे मते डाकिले नाही, ताहाले आउ थरे तो देखा साक्षात होइथांता। या परे क्वचित तांको मु स्वप्न देखा पाई। 1326 साल आषाढ़ शेष भागरे किंबा श्रावण प्रथम भागरे आमे माने श्री ठाकुरंकर प्रथम दर्शन लाभ करिथिलु। द्वितीय दर्शन सही वर्ष संध्या माँ परलोक गमन दिवस फाल्गुन 30 रे। तृतीय थर तांको दर्शन घटिला 1326 साल चैत्र मासरे। सेतिकी बेले मोर पितामाता दीक्षा ग्रहण करथिले। बापा आसानसोल बदली होई चट्टग्राम जीवार किछि दिन परे बापा विशेष आग्रहपूर्ण अनुरोध रे श्री श्री ठाकुर कृपा करी आम फिरिंगी बजारस्थ बसारे पदार्पण करथिले। तांका विद्यमानतारे आमर केतेगुड़े दिन अति आनंद बीती जाइथिला। तत्परे श्री श्री ठाकुर फेरीजा समय उपस्थित है। यात्रार पूर्व दिन सकाळे श्री श्री ठाकुर बापा माँ को डाकी कहले किरे तुम मैंने दीक्षा नेब नहीं कि? श्री ठाकुर निज पक्षर एक कथा कहउछन्ति शुणी बापा माँ आनंदे आत्महरा होई संगे संगे समस्त आयोजन करी उभय दीक्षा ग्रहण कले एवं सही दिन ठारू सपरिवारे सेमाने श्री श्री ठाकुर चरण रे आत्मसमर्पण कले। संध्या माँ मर जगत रे नाहांती सत्य किंतु तांका पवित्र स्मृति रे अद्यावधि आम मान हृदय पूर्ण होई रहिछि। तांकर गुरु भक्ति एकनिष्ठता और मनोबल यथार्थरे भक्त मानकर अनुकरणीय। जो अमूल्य रत्नर संधान से आमको दे जाइछन्ति सेही वस्तुर संधान कण आमे निज शक्ति लाभ करिया समर्थ होइतांतु। सेही भली योग्यता कण आमर थिला? आमे माने संध्या माँकर अत्यंत प्रिय पात्र थिलु। तेणु से तांको प्रियतम संपद आम मानकु समर्पण करि जाइछन्ति। जो संध्या माँ आम मानकु सेही अमूल्य रत्नर संधान प्रदान करी श्री गुरुपाद पद्मरे मस्तक स्थापन पूर्वक परपारर यात्री होइछन्ति। अशेष कृतज्ञतार चिन्ह स्वरूप आमे सेही संध्या माँ को जेपरी भूली न जाई ଚିରଦିନ ଆମ ସ୍ମୃତିପଟରେ ଧରି ରଖିପାରିବୁ। ପରମାରାଧ୍ୟ ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ମହାରାଜ ସେଥିନିମିତ୍ତ ଆମର ସହାୟ ହୁଅନ୍ତୁ। ଏହା ହିଁ ତାଙ୍କ ଚରଣ କମଳରେ ଆମର ଆକୁଳ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା। ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟା ମାଙ୍କର ସ୍ୱରରେ ସ୍ୱର ମିଳାଇ କେତେ ସ୍ତୋତ ବନ୍ଦନା ଗାନ କରିଛୁ। ଆଜି ତାଙ୍କର ପୁଣ୍ୟ କାହାଣୀର ସମାପ୍ତି ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତରେ ପୁଣି ଥରେ ତାଙ୍କ ପ୍ରିୟ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ଗାନ କରୁଅଛୁ। ଗୁରୁ ନାରାୟଣ କରି ନିବେଦନ, থাকে জন মন তব শ্রী চরণে, আমি অতি দিন ভজন বিহীন, আমায় কৃপা কর প্রভু তব নিজ গুণে। ସନ୍ନ୍ୟାସିନୀ ଗୌରୀ ବା ଶୈଳବାଳା ଦେବୀ। ସନ୍ନ୍ୟାସିନୀ ଶାନ୍ତିମୟୀ ମାଙ୍କ ପରେ ଯେଉଁ ମହିଳା ଭକ୍ତମାନେ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ନିକଟରୁ ସନ୍ନ୍ୟାସ ଦୀକ୍ଷା ଗ୍ରହଣ କରିବାର ସୌଭାଗ୍ୟ ଲାଭ କରିଥିଲେ, ସେମାନଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ବ୍ରହ୍ମଚାରିଣୀ ଶୈଳବାଳା ଅନ୍ୟତମ। ପରମହଂସ ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ନିଗମାନନ୍ଦ ଦେବଙ୍କ ଲୀଳା ଉଦ୍ୟାନରେ ସେ ଥିଲେ ଗୋଟିଏ ଦର ବିକଶିତ ସୁରଭିତ କୁସୁମ। ସେ ନିଜର ଦିବ୍ୟ ସୌରଭରେ ସେହି ଉଦ୍ୟାନର ପରିବେଶ, ଶୋଭା ଓ ମହତ୍ଵ ଦ୍ୱିଗୁଣିତ କରିଥିଲେ। କିନ୍ତୁ ନିୟତିର ନିଷ୍ଠୁର ବିଧାନରେ ସେହି ସ୍ୱର୍ଗୀୟ ପାରିଜାତଟି ଅକାଳରେ କୀଟଦ୍ରଷ୍ଟ ହୋଇ ଝରିପଡ଼ିଲା। ମାତ୍ର 18 ବର୍ଷ ବୟସରେ ବ୍ରହ୍ମଚାରିଣୀ ଶୈଳବାଳାଙ୍କର ନିଷ୍ପାପ ନିର୍ମଳ ଆତ୍ମା ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଶ୍ରୀଚରଣ କମଳରେ ଚିରବିଶ୍ରାମ ଲାଭ କରିଛି। କିନ୍ତୁ ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଭକ୍ତ ସମାଜରେ ସେ ଆଜି ସୁଦ୍ଧା ଅବିସ୍ମରଣୀୟ ହୋଇ ରହିଛନ୍ତି ଓ ଚିରଦିନ ରହିଥିବେ। ସାରସ୍ୱତ ସଂଘର ଇତିହାସରେ ସେ ଏକ ଅବିସ୍ମରଣୀୟ ନାମ। ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଦୀକ୍ଷିତ ଶିଷ୍ୟ ପୂର୍ବବଙ୍ଗର ଡାକ୍ତର ଶ୍ରୀ ରାଜଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ଧର ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ପ୍ରଦତ୍ତ ସନ୍ନ୍ୟାସ ନାମ ଗ୍ରହଣ କରି ପରେ ସର୍ବତ୍ୟାଗୀ ଶ୍ରୀମତ୍ ସ୍ୱାମୀ ସ୍ୱରୂପାନନ୍ଦ ନାମରେ ପରିଚିତ ହୋଇଥିଲେ। ବ୍ରହ୍ମଚାରିଣୀ ଶୈଳବାଳା ତାଙ୍କରି ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ସନ୍ତାନ ତଥା ପ୍ରଥମା କନ୍ୟା। ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କରି କନିଷ୍ଠା ସହୋଦରା। ମୋ ଠାରୁ ଶୈଳ ଦିଦି ବୟସରେ 5 ବର୍ଷ ବଡ଼। ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କ ସମ୍ବନ୍ଧରେ ଗୁରୁଜନମାନଙ୍କଠାରୁ ଯାହା କିଛି ଶୁଣି ମନେ ରଖିଥିଲି ଓ ନିଜେ ଯେତିକି ପ୍ରତ୍ୟକ୍ଷ କରିଥିଲି, ତାହା ସ୍ମୃତିରୁ ଉଦ୍ଧାର କରି ଭକ୍ତମାନଙ୍କ ନିମିତ୍ତ ପ୍ରକାଶ କରୁଅଛି। ଉତ୍କଳର ଭକ୍ତ ଭାଇ ଓ ମା ମାନେ ତାହା ପାଠ କରି ସେଥିରୁ କିଞ୍ଚିତ ପ୍ରେରଣା ଲାଭ କଲେ ଶ୍ରମ ସାର୍ଥକ ମନେ କରିବେ। ମୋର ପିତା ରାଜଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ଧରଙ୍କ ଜନ୍ମଭୂମି ପୂର୍ବବଙ୍ଗର ମୟମନସିଂହ ଜିଲ୍ଲାର ସଦର ମହକୁମା ଅନ୍ତର୍ଗତ ଫୁଲପୁର ଥାନା ଅଧୀନସ୍ଥ ରାଜଦାରିକେଲ ଗ୍ରାମ। ରାଜଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ଶୈଶବରୁ ପିତୃହୀନ ଥିଲେ। ତେଣୁ ମାତୁଳାର ଖାନାପୁର ଗ୍ରାମ୍ୟ ପାଠଶାଳାରେ ସେ ଶିକ୍ଷାଲାଭ କରିବା ପରେ ଈଶ୍ୱରଗଞ୍ଜରେ ପଢ଼ିବାକୁ ଗଲେ। ସେଠାରେ ସେ ବିଶ୍ୱେଶ୍ୱରୀ ମଧ୍ୟ ଇଂରାଜୀ ବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟର ପ୍ରଧାନ ଶିକ୍ଷକ ଶ୍ରୀଯୁକ୍ତ କାଲାଚାନ୍ଦ ଚକ୍ରବର୍ତ୍ତୀ ମହାଶୟଙ୍କ ଗୃହରେ ଅବସ୍ଥାନ କରି ମଧ୍ୟ ଇଂରାଜୀ ବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟର ପାଠ୍ୟକ୍ରମ ଶେଷ କରିଥିଲେ। ଶିକ୍ଷକ ଓ ଶିକ୍ଷପତ୍ନୀ ଉଭୟ ରାଜଚନ୍ଦ୍ରଙ୍କୁ ପୁତ୍ର ସଦୃଶ ସ୍ନେହ ଚକ୍ଷୁରେ ଦର୍ଶନ କରୁଥିଲେ। ମାଇନର ପରୀକ୍ଷାରେ ରାଜଚନ୍ଦ୍ର କୃତିତ୍ୱ ସହକାରେ ଉତ୍ତୀର୍ଣ୍ଣ ହୋଇ ଜିଲ୍ଲା ମଧ୍ୟରେ ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ସ୍ଥାନ ଅଧିକାର କରିବାରୁ 4 ବର୍ଷ ପାଇଁ ମାସିକ 4 ଟଙ୍କା କରି ବୃତ୍ତି ପାଇଲେ ଓ ତତ୍ପରେ ମୟମନସିଂହ ଜିଲ୍ଲା ସ୍କୁଲରେ ଅଧ୍ୟୟନ କରି କୃତିତ୍ୱ ସହକାରେ ପ୍ରଥମ ଶ୍ରେଣୀରେ ଏଣ୍ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସ ପରୀକ୍ଷାରେ ଉତ୍ତୀର୍ଣ୍ଣ ହେଲେ। ଉଚ୍ଚ ଇଂରାଜୀ ବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟର 10ମ ଶ୍ରେଣୀର ଛାତ୍ର ଥିଲାବେଳେ 1302 ସାଲ ଆଷାଢ଼ ମାସରେ ଇଂରାଜୀ 1895 ମସିହାରେ ମୟମନସିଂହର ଖ୍ୟାତନାମା ମୁକ୍ତିଆ ସ୍ୱର୍ଗତ ଜଗବନ୍ଧୁ ସରକାରଙ୍କର ଏକମାତ୍ର କନ୍ୟା ତଥା ସ୍ଥାନୀୟ କୋର୍ଟର ସୁପରିଚିତ ଓକିଲ ଶ୍ରୀ ଯୋଗେନ୍ଦ୍ରନାଥ ସରକାରଙ୍କର ଜ୍ୟେଷ୍ଠା ଭଗିନୀ ସୁଶୀଳା ସୁନ୍ଦରୀଙ୍କ ସହିତ ତାଙ୍କର ଶୁଭ ପରିଣୟ ସମ୍ପନ୍ନ ହୋଇଥିଲା। ରାଜଚନ୍ଦ୍ରଙ୍କର ଡାକ୍ତରୀ ପଢ଼ିବା ପାଇଁ ବିଶେଷ ଆଗ୍ରହ ଥିଲା। ତାଙ୍କ ମତରେ ଏଥିରେ ଉଭୟ ପରୋପକାର ଓ ଅର୍ଥାଗମ ହୋଇପାରିବ। ତେଣୁ ସେ ଡାକ୍ତରୀ ପଢ଼ିବା ନିମିତ୍ତ 1304 ସାଲ ଆଷାଢ଼ ମାସରେ ଢାକା ମେଡ଼ିକାଲ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ପ୍ରବେଶ କଲେ। ତାଙ୍କ ଭଳି ଜଣେ ମେଧାବୀ ଛାତ୍ରଙ୍କୁ ସ୍କୁଲ କର୍ତ୍ତୃପକ୍ଷ ସାଦରେ ଗ୍ରହଣ କରି ତାଙ୍କୁ ମାସିକ 8 ଟଙ୍କା ହିସାବରେ 4 ବର୍ଷ ବୃତ୍ତି ପ୍ରଦାନ କଲେ। ଏହାଛଡ଼ା ଆଉ ଯାହା ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ ଆବଶ୍ୟକ ପଡ଼ୁଥିଲା ତାହା ତାଙ୍କ ଶାଶୁ ଠାକୁରାଣୀ ନିୟମିତ ଭାବରେ ପ୍ରଦାନ କରୁଥିଲେ। ଡାକ୍ତରୀ ପାସ୍ କରି ରାଜଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ମୟମନସିଂହ ଜିଲ୍ଲା ବୋର୍ଡ଼ ଅଧୀନରେ ମଫସଲ ଅଞ୍ଚଳରେ କିଛି ଦିନ ଚିକିତ୍ସା କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ କରୁଥିଲେ। ଏହାର କିଛି ଦିନ ପୂର୍ବରୁ 1303 ସାଲରେ ତାଙ୍କର ପ୍ରଥମ ପୁତ୍ର ନରେନ୍ଦ୍ରନାଥ ଓ 1307 ସାଲ ମାଘ 19 ଦିନ ପ୍ରଥମ କନ୍ୟା ଶୈଳବାଳା ଜନ୍ମଗ୍ରହଣ କରିଥିଲେ। ଶୈଳବାଳାଙ୍କ ଜନ୍ମସ୍ଥାନ ମୋର ସ୍ମରଣ ନାହିଁ। ତତ୍ପରେ ରାଜଚନ୍ଦ୍ର 1309 ସାଲରେ ମାସିକ 125 ଟଙ୍କା ବେତନରେ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣିଆ ଜିଲ୍ଲା ଅନ୍ତର୍ଗତ ସୁପ୍ରସିଦ୍ଧ ରାମନଗର ରାଜବାଟୀର ଦାତବ୍ୟ ଚିକିତ୍ସାଳୟର ଡାକ୍ତର ତଥା ରାଜପରିବାରର ଗୃହ ଚିକିତ୍ସକ ଭାବରେ ନିଯୁକ୍ତ ହୋଇ ସପରିବାର ସେଠାରେ ବାସ କରିବାକୁ ଲାଗିଲେ। ନାନାବିଧ କାରଣରୁ ସେ ଉକ୍ତ ଚାକିରି ତ୍ୟାଗ କରି 1311 ସାଲରେ ମୟମନସିଂହ ସହରର बड़ रास्ता पार्श्वर गृह निर्माण करी सेथिरे गोटे चिकित्सालय स्थापन पूर्वक औषध विक्रय सहित स्वाधीन भाव में चिकित्सा आरंभ कले। सेतेबेले से चिकित्सा कार्य सहर और आखपाख अंचल विशेष ख्याति अर्जन करने संगे संगे प्रचुर अर्थ उपार्जन करथिले और पारिवारिक जीवन में विशेष सुख शांति कालातीपात करथिले। सुचिकित्सक और परोपकारी हिसाब से सहरवासी अत्यंत प्रीतिभाजन उठिथिले। राजचंद्रंकर तत्कालीन जीवन संपर्क में विशेष विवरणी श्रीमद स्वामी प्रेमानंद महाराज तांको प्रणीत सारस्वत मठ और स्वामी स्वरूपानंद पुस्तक में लिपिबद्ध करिसेंति। प्रथमा कन्या हिसाब से
जय गुरु भाई सोची
आज्ञा मां जय
गौरा जिन्ही रखो नाथ श्री मुखरू झरी सुधारा श्री मुखरू झरी सुधारा मगत पताई खाता सुख दुख देते आपको जीवानी सुख दुख देते आपको जीवानी पतरा दिले तुम्हारे पतरा दिले तुम्हारे रे अजानी सबुता चरानी रे अजानी सबुता चरानी नीति माता दिया आखिरा पना पाथरे दिया आखिरा पना जाबिरे समीरे धीरत छलका जाबिरे समीरे धीरत छलका चंदमुखी तारा मारिची पुलाका चंदमुखी तारा मारिची छोड़ाई देव सीता बावड़ा जाके धारणा चरण जुगाया जाति धरण चरण जुगाया जाति नाम मागो करुणा की वाला डाकी नाम मागो करुणा की वाला अंकियान से नित्य जान मौला नित्य जान भाई बंधु धारा अनाथ बाउला आखिरे परो दिखाई दिया आखिरे परो दिखाई दिया सपना चिताना सबरे से साथी सपना चिताना सबरे से साथी गोल बेले उड़ी तोर प्राण पक्षी गोल बेले उड़ी तोर प्राण पक्षी उड़ाई बासे पथ अनाथ रासे बाउला श्री मुखरू झरिए सुधरा श्री मुखरू झरिए सुधरा मगतु पताई आतो अनाथ रासे अनाथ रासे बाउला Jai Guru. We will read from Yogi Guru. The practice of Laya Yoga. Those who are short of time and unable to follow the rules of yoga have to awaken Kundalini by the aforesaid method. They can accomplish the merger of Chitta by performing any one of the methods of Laya Yoga discussed below. I could not write it elaborately in view of exaggeration. However, the inward merger of mind can be accomplished by performing any one of these methods which I have indicated here. It is very easy, requires small endeavor, and produces quick results. Muladhara chakra is in the shape of vagina. In this chakra, glowing Kundalini Shakti inhabits surrounding Swayambhulinga in 3.5 circles. By meditating on this shining Shakti, as Jiva mind turns inward and becomes abject, the sadhaka attains liberation. When Kundalini Shakti is meditated upon in coral like Uddiyan Pitha in Swadhisthana Chakra, mind gets concentrated and the sadhak gains the power to attract the whole world. One will certainly attain all siddhis by meditating on Bhujangini Shakti with the self of knowledge and the color of lightning having the shape of 5 circular turns in Manipura Chakra. By meditating on Hans, the self of light in Anahat Chakra, one's mind gets concentrated and the world is won over. By meditating on pure light in Visuddha Chakra, all siddhis are attained. Lalana Chakra at the base of the roof of mouth is the place of Ghantika and known as the 10th door on the path to liberation. By meditating in that chakra, one gets liberation. By meditating on circular light in Agya Chakra, salvation is attained. By concentrating mind through meditation in the place known as Jalandhar, which is dusky and like a point of a needle in the 8th chakra in Brahmarandhra, one attains the state of Nirvana. By meditating on Ardha Shakti of the Absolute, the complete self of truth and knowledge in Soma Chakra, one attains Manolaya and Mokshapad. By meditating on any one of these 9 chakras, the sadhakas will attain siddhi and mukti at the tip of their hand. Because they visualize with Gyananetra the Brahmalok round like Kadam between the 2 eyebrows through Gyananetra and eventually they rise to Brahmalok. The sages like Krishna Dipayan went to Brahmalok by practicing Laya Yoga in 9 chakras and undoing the warrant of Yama, the god of death. Krishna Dvapayana Jestu Sadhito Layang Sangitaha Navashwebahi Chakresu Layang Krutva Mahatmabhi. It means that the sages like Vedavyas accomplished the sadhana by Laya Yoga of deeply concentrating mind on Navachakra. Apart from this, there are several methods of Laya Yoga and indications of Laya Yoga is in the scripture. By meditating on the image of Ishtadev with one's heart with supreme joy, the sadhaka gets absorbed in his own soul. If one meditates with concentration of mind by keeping the gaze steadily on the big toe of the right leg, slipping like a corpse, with face upward in a lonely place, he will soon accomplish the Chittalaya. It is the easy and principal way of absorption of mind. While sleeping with front side of body upward, some people are found snoring and haunted by ghosts. It then appears as if somebody sits pressing the chest. The body seems heavy. If someone wants to shout out of fear, he doesn't speak out distinctly, but goes on making groaning sound. It gives a hint of Laya Yoga. Place the tongue upward in contact with the root of the palate. By it, the mind is absorbed and merges with the Supreme Love. Keeping the gaze fixed on the tip of the nose, if one meditates on yellow glow of length 12 fingers or red glow of 8 fingers, he accomplishes the absorption of mind as well as the stabilization of air. If one meditates on white glow like that of autumn moon on the forehead, one attains the absorption of mind and longevity of life. Jiva gets liberation by meditating on the glow of the length of 8 fingers, resembling the flicker flame of a deepak in the body. If one meditates on the sun like a globe between two eyebrows, he will visualize the divine. One can attain monolaya by following any one of these methods as found convenient to him. Are you talking, bhai?
जय गुरु हाँ हाँ भाई माँ
Jai Guru.
जय गुरु ये एक्चुअली आज तो समय बेसी नहीं ये जोगी गुरु मते लागिला गोटे सेंटेंस टिके मीनिंग टा चेंज हे मते लागिला आई फेल्ट से टिके क्लैरिफाई कर चाहूँ प्रथमे जो फर्स्ट आरंभ हला द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ लॉय जगो द वेरी फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट says those who are short of time and unable to follow the rules of yoga have to awaken kundalini by the aforesaid method. The sentence ends there. Those who are short in time, unable to follow the rules of yoga, have to awaken kundalini by the aforesaid method. ଏଥିରୁ ଲାଗୁଛି ଯେ ଏ ସେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ସଟାରୁ ଯେ ଯେଉଁମାନଙ୍କ ସମୟ ନାହିଁ ସେମାନେ ପୂର୍ବୋକ୍ତ ପ୍ରକାରରେ କୁଣ୍ଡଳିନୀ ଜାଗରଣ କରିବେ ତାର ତ ଯେଉଁମାନଙ୍କ ସମୟ ଅଛି ତାଙ୍କ ବି ଅନ୍ୟ ପ୍ରକାର नो दैट इज नॉट व्हाट द ओरिजिनल स्टेटमेंट ठाकुरଙ୍କର सेज ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ओरिजिनल स्टेटमेंट हला मोर माने बंगला बही तो बंगला भी पढुची तो ओडिया कहिदेबी ଯାହାদের সময় অল্প এবং যোগের নিয়ম পালনে অক্ষম তাহারা পূর্বোক্ত প্রকারে কুণ্ডলিনী চৈতন্য করিয়া পশ্চাৎ উল্লিখিত যে কোনো লয়যোগ সাধন করলে চিত্ত লয় হইবে তা সে ঠাকুর কହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯୋଉମାନଙ୍କର ସମୟ ନାହିଁ ସମୟ ଅଳ୍ପ ଯୋଗ ନିୟମ ପାଳନ କରିବା ଅକ୍ଷମ ସେମାନେ ପୂର୍ବୋକ୍ତ ପ୍ରକାରେ କୁଣ୍ଡଳିନୀ ଚୈତନ୍ୟ କରି ନଟ କରିବେ ପୂର୍ବୋକ୍ତ ପ୍ରକାରେ କୁଣ୍ଡଳିନୀ ଚୈତନ୍ୟ କରି ତାପରେ ମେନ୍ ଟା ହଉଛି ଯେ ପଶ୍ଚାତ ଲିଖିତ ଯେ କୌଣସି ଲୟ ଯୋଗ ସାଧନ କଲେ ହିଁ ଚିତ୍ତ ଲୟ ହେବ କାରଣ ଯାହାର ସମୟ ନାହିଁ ସେ କୁଣ୍ଡଳିନୀ ଚୈତନ୍ୟ କରିଦେଇକିରି ପୂର୍ବ ପ୍ରକାରରେ ତାପରେ ଯୋଉଗୁଡାକ ଦେଲେ ଠାକୁର ସେଇ ଗୁଡାକ ଫୋକସ କଲେ ଚିତ୍ତ ଲୟ ହବ ତ ତାର ମାନେ ମେନ୍ ହଉଛି ଯେ ଫଲୋଇଂ ଗୁଡାକ ତେଣୁ ସେ ଇଂଲିଶରେ ଟିକେ ମତେ ଲାଗୁଛି ସେ ସେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ସ ବ୍ରେକ୍ କରିଦେଲେ ଦିଟା ସେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ସ କରିଦେଲେ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ତାର ମାନେ ମିନିଂ ଟା ବଦଳିଗଲା ଏନିୱେ ତ ସମୟ ନାହିଁ ଜଷ୍ଟ କପଲ ମିନିଟ୍ସ ଅଛି ଆଜି ମୋର ସଂଘ ସେବକରେ ତାଙ୍କର ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଡିସ୍କସନର ମୂଳ ରହିଲା ଯେ ଆମେ କିଏ ଆଉ ଆମେ କାହିଁକି ମାନେ ସବୁବେଳେ ଅପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ମାନେ ଜିନିଷଟା ଖୋଜି ଚାଲିଛନ୍ତି କିନ୍ତୁ ପାଉନାହାନ୍ତି ବିକଜ ଆମେ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣଙ୍କର ଅଂଶ କିନ୍ତୁ ନିଜକୁ ସବୁବେଳେ ଖଣ୍ଡ ବା ଅପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ବୋଲି ମନେ କରୁଛୁ ଯେହେତୁ ଆମେ ଅପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଆମେ ସେ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣତା ପ୍ରାପ୍ତି ପାଇଁ ଧାଇଁ ଚାଲିଛୁ ତାକୁ ସେ ଅଲଗା ଜାଗାରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ କଥା କହିଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଯେହେତୁ ଆମେ ସେଇ ଆନନ୍ଦ ସ୍ୱରୂପରୁ ଆସିଛୁ ସବୁବେଳେ ସେ ଆନନ୍ଦ ଖୋଜି ବୁଲୁଛୁ ସୁଖ ଲାଭରେ ଉପାୟ ଠାକୁର ଟିକେ ଲେଖିଦେଲେ ସେଇଥିରେ ସେ କହିଛନ୍ତି ସେଇ ଜିନିଷଟା ତ ମୂଳ କଥା ହେଲା ସେଇଆ ଯେ ଆମେ ଯେହେତୁ ଖଣ୍ଡିତ ଭାବରେ ରହିଛୁ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ନହଉ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ସେ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଆଡକୁ ଆମେ ସବୁବେଳେ ଧାବମାନ ଆଉ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ଆମର ସବୁବେଳେ ଆକାଂକ୍ଷାଟା ରହିଛି ଆମେ ଏଇଟା କରିବୁ ସେଇଟା କରିବୁ ଏଇଟା ଦରକାର ସେଇଟା ଦରକାର ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ନିଜକୁ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ବୋଲି ଜାଣିପାରିବା ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ ରିଅଲାଇଜେସନ ଆସିବ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ସାଂସାରିକ ଯୋଉ ଆସକ୍ତି ରହିଛି ଯେ ମୋର ଏଇଟା ଦରକାର ମୋର ସେଇଟା ଦରକାର ମୁଁ ଏଇଟା କରିବି ମୁଁ ସେଇଟା କରିବି ସେଗୁଡା ଚାଲିଯିବ କାରଣ ସେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଜାଣିବୁ ଯେ ଆମ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ଏସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଆବଶ୍ୟକ ନାହିଁ କାରଣ ଆମେ ସେଇ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ତାପରେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କଥା ଏଠି ମାନେ ମୁଁ ଜଷ୍ଟ କ୍ଲାରିଫାଇ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି ଠାକୁର କହିଲେ ଯେ ଆମର ଦିଟା ପଥ ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା ଅହଂକାର ସମ୍ପ୍ରସାରଣ ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା ଅହଂକାର ସଂକୋଚନ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ କଥାଟା ଆଜି ସମୟରେ ପଢା ହେଲା ସେଟା ଅହଂକାର ସମ୍ପ୍ରସାରଣ ପଥଟା ସେଟା ଜ୍ଞାନ ପଥ ଜ୍ଞାନ ପଥରେ ମୁଁ ହିଁ ସର୍ବଶକ୍ତିମାନ ମୁଁ ହିଁ ଅନନ୍ତ ମୁଁ ହିଁ ଭୂମା ମୁଁ ହିଁ ବ୍ରହ୍ମ କିନ୍ତୁ ଭକ୍ତି ପଥରେ ଜଷ୍ଟ ଅପୋଜିଟ ଭକ୍ତି ପଥରେ ସବୁବେଳେ ଭକ୍ତ ନିଜକୁ କ୍ଷୁଦ୍ର ବୋଲି ମନେ କରିବ ସେ ସର୍ବଶକ୍ତିମାନ ମୁଁ ସ୍ୱଳ୍ପ ଶକ୍ତିମାନ ସେ ଅନନ୍ତ ମୁଁ ଶାନ୍ତ ସେ ପ୍ରଭୁ ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କର ଦାସ ଏ ଦିଟା ଅଲଗା ଅଲଗା ପଥ ହଉଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ସଂଘ ସେବକ ଯୋଉ ଡିସ୍କସନଟା ଟାଇମ ହେଇଗଲା ସଂଘ ସେବକ ଡିସ୍କସନଟା ସେ ଜ୍ଞାନ ପଥର ଡିସ୍କସନ ଯେ ମୁଁ ହିଁ ସର୍ବଶକ୍ତିମାନ ମୁଁ ହିଁ ସେ ଅନନ୍ତ ଏନିୱେ ଟାଇମ ହେଇଗଲାଣି ରଖିବା ଏଇଠି will start with our YA session song by Shreyasi. If you are ready, Shreyasi, please start the song. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. ଖୋଜିବା ପରି ମୁଁ ଖୋଜି ନାହିଁ ପ୍ରଭୁ ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ପାଇବା ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ଖୋଜିବା ପରି ମୁଁ ଖୋଜି ନାହିଁ ପ୍ରଭୁ ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ବୁଝିବା ପରି ମୁଁ ବୁଝି ନାହିଁ ସିନା ବୁଝିବା ପରି ମୁଁ ବୁଝି ନାହିଁ ସିନା ଚାହିଁବା ପରି ମୁଁ ଚାହିଁଛି ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ପିଜିଲାନି ତବ ଭାବ ଜଳଧିରେ ମଜି ନାହିଁ କେବେ ଭଗବତୀ ବିଭୋରେ ନିଜି ନାହିଁ ତବ ଭବ ଜଳଧିରେ ମଜି ନାହିଁ କେବେ ଭଗବତୀ ବିଭୋରେ ଭଜିବା ପରି ମୁଁ ଭଜି ନାହିଁ ସିନା ଭଜିବା ପରି ମୁଁ ଭଜି ନାହିଁ ସିନା ତବ ଗୁଣ ଗାନ ଗାଇଛି ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ପୂଜାରାଧନା ନ ଜାଣେ ତ କିଛି ମାଝି ବହୁତ ସଜାଇ ରଖିଛି ପୂଜାରାଧନା ନ ଜାଣେ ତ କିଛି ମାଝି ବହୁତ ସଜାଇ ରଖିଛି ନେବା ପାଇଁ କେବେ ମାଗି ନାହିଁ କିଛି ନେବା ପାଇଁ କେବେ ମାଗି ନାହିଁ କିଛି ଯାହା ଥିଲା ସବୁ ଦେଇଛି ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି କରଜି ନାହିଁ ମୁଁ ତବ ସେବା ଧର୍ମ ବରଜି ପାରି କୁବୃତ୍ତି କୁକର୍ମ କରଜି ନାହିଁ ମୁଁ ତବ ସେବା ଧର୍ମ ବରଜି ପାରି କୁବୃତ୍ତି କୁକର୍ମ ରାଜୀବ ଯୁଗଳ ପଦକୁ କେବଳ ରାଜୀବ ଯୁଗଳ ପଦକୁ କେବଳ ଭରସା କରି ମୁଁ ରହିଛି ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ଖୋଜିବା ପରି ମୁଁ ଖୋଜି ନାହିଁ ପ୍ରଭୁ ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ବୁଝିବା ପରି ମୁଁ ବୁଝି ନାହିଁ ସିନା ବୁଝିବା ପରି ମୁଁ ବୁଝି ନାହିଁ ସିନା ଚାହିଁବା ପରି ମୁଁ ଚାହିଁଛି ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି ପାଇବା ପରି ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି
Jai Guru Young Aspirants, this is Shreyama and I will be conducting our YA session today. I hope everyone is doing well. I will start first by taking attendance and then I'll ask Shreyasi to share the meaning of the song that she just sang. And while we're taking attendance, please go ahead and have today's story ready in front of you. I'll ask one of you to read for us today. So with that, I'll start our attendance. Aditi?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Adyasa? Aishi? Anik?
Jai Guru.
Oh, Aishi Jai Guru. Anik? Ansh? Anshu? Arnav?
Jai Guru. Arnav isn't here today.
Okay, that's helpful. Jai Guru. Aryan? Ashrita?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Jemu? Divyam? Timmy?
Jai Guru.
Jagrat? Jai Guru Timmy. Jagrat?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Naitik?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Nivriti? Pratyusha? Pratyush?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Prayushi? Sanvi?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Sharanya? Saraswat? Sharlav? Sarthak?
Jai Guru. Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru.
Oh, Jai Guru Sharlav. Sarthak? Bobby?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Shilpi? Shreyasi?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Jimmy?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Simran?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Siddhi? Shrija?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Suhani? Yukta?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Is there anyone I missed? Okay, I think that concludes attendance. Shreyasi, if you could share the meaning of the song, that would be great.
Jai Guru. This song says that I, as your devotee, I have not looked for you the way you should be looked for, but I know that I want you. Yet I do not understand you fully, and even then I have got you. I'm not doing your puja or your worship in the way it should be done. However, with pure heart, I came to you and I surrender to you. I rely on you with complete trust, and I rely on you to guide me in the correct way. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru Shreyasi, thank you for sharing. Really, really well said. I think it communicates our humility and how even though we may not be in a lot of ways deserving of the guidance and protection that we get from Thakura, we'll always try to get to a point where we deserve that. So really lovely. Today we're going to read a story from Sri Sri Thakura's life that isn't just about a miracle. It's about determination, faith, and what someone is willing to do when they have nowhere else to turn. So as we read today, I'd like us all to pay attention not only to what happens, but also to why our main character today makes the choices he does and what his journey teaches us about surrender and trusting in God. We'll pause at different points in the story to discuss what we're learning. So if you have the reading out, that's why I've divided it into 4 parts. That way we can pause from time to time to see what we are learning. So, Pratyush, I'm curious, do you have the reading today? Will you be able to read for us?
Jagger, yes. Could you just give me a second?
Yes. Take your time, and if you could just read part 1 up until the end of that first part, that would be great.
Jagger, just to make sure, is it curing Naresh Pakadashi of deadly internal hemorrhage?
Exactly, just that first part.
Okay, Jagger. Part 1. Naresh Chandra Pakadashi was born to a Brahmin family in the district of Pabna in modern-day Bangladesh. They were the zamindars, landlords of Spala, an area in Pabna district, and were very rich and famous. They used to live like kings. When Naresh Bhai was a child, he had the fortune of visiting Sri Sri Thakura in Dhaka, the present capital of Bangladesh. It was an evening, and Chidanda Maharaj, the first brahmachari disciple of Sri Sri Thakur, was holding a lantern near Thakur's face. In that dim light, Naresh Bhai saw a young and handsome Sri Sri Thakur. Naresh Bhai was captivated seeing Sri Sri Thakur. He kept on wondering when he would get to see him again. He was able to visit Sri Sri Thakur for 3 days consecutively. When he returned on the 4th evening, he was told that Thakur had left for Assam. Few years had passed after that, and when Naresh Bhai was 17 years old, he became terribly ill. At that time, he had the aspiration to become a bodybuilder and was training accordingly. He used to break iron chains across his chest. Unfortunately, in one such incident, he got seriously hurt and suffered from internal hemorrhaging. None of the doctors could cure him. Unable to eat anything, he survived by only drinking fruit juice. Gradually, he became so weak that he looked like a skeleton. In such condition, many years passed. A completely bedridden Naresh Bhai was waiting for his death.
Guru, thank you for reading, Pratyush. Okay, a couple things I'm curious whether we got from this first part. So, Aishi, when Naresh Bhai was a little boy, why did he want to see Sri Sri Thakura again after meeting him that first time?
Jaiguru, after the first time he saw him, he was captivated by seeing him, and he wanted to see him every day um and meet him every day, Jaiguru.
Jaguru, yes, exactly. I like the word you said, captivated. Sri Sri Thakura's loving face and peaceful presence really made a big impression on him. And Sharlov, can you help us out? What happened to Naresh Bhai after he injured himself while bodybuilding?
Jagger, um, in one incident, he got seriously hurt and suffered from internal hemorrhaging. None of the doctors were able to cure him. Jagger.
Jaguru, yes, exactly. He became very sick with internal bleeding, and you're exactly right. No one could help him. He couldn't even sit up or eat normal food. So, a little bit of foreshadowing for what we'll read in the next parts. But, Shreyasi, why do you think suffering sometimes causes people to ask deeper spiritual questions?
Jaiguru, I think that suffering oftentimes makes people feel value all of the things they have in their life more, and it also a struggle is a large part of sort of making up who you are, and as you overcome obstacles you become a stronger person. So in that process of becoming a stronger person by coming out on the other side of these obstacles, you have to ask yourself a lot of questions and be very reflective.
Jaguru, yes, I really like how you said that. I won't be able to use the same words, but what I think what you're getting at is when life is comfortable, it's really easy to focus on everyday goals, but suffering often makes us search for meaning, hope, and something greater than ourselves. And like you said, it makes us grow. Um, okay, so we'll pause there on our questions. Pratyush, can you read for us just part 2 now?
Jagger, yes. Part 2. At the time he was staying in Calcutta, his elder brothers had brought him there for treatment. Due to their family status and affluence, he was treated like royalty. They were always there were always attendants to care for him. He was so weak that he was not able to turn from one side to the other by himself. To assist him, the attendants were taking turns, such that there were always two people with him. As the doctors gave up hope, Narishbai felt that his only hope was godlike intervention. He thought that probably some saint can help him recover. In a flash, the thought of the young saint he had met in Dhaka came to his mind. He had heard about some of the miracles performed by the saint, so he secretly wrote a letter to the friend who had initially introduced Shri Thakur to him, and found out that Thakur was at Alipurdwar at that time. Nareshbhai also had a friend who was living in Alipurdwar then. He also came to know that this latter friend was also a devotee of Shri Thakur, so Nareshbhai planned to seek his help in meeting Thakur. He did not want to inform his family members about it. However, there were problems. How can he go without the knowledge of his family members? How would he get money for the trip? Suddenly, one day, Nareshbhai discovered a money purse under his pillow. One of his relatives, who used to visit him every so often, had for some reason left that purse there. Nareshbhai felt that this was a blessing and made certain to visit Shri Thakur. Counting the money, he figured that there was enough for a third-class ticket by train to Alipurdwar. Although he had never traveled in a compartment other than first class, he was so desperate and determined to meet Thakur that he did not even think twice about traveling in third class. He decided to go without further delay. He chose a time when his attendants were busy with other work. Without even changing the clothes he was wearing, he put on a coat on top of it. With a scarf around his neck and a shawl on his body, a nearly lifeless Narishbai stepped out. He planned that if anyone sees him, he would say that he was going for a short walk. Nonetheless, if the person decided to accompany him, he would not be able to go to Alipurdwar. Surprisingly, no one at his house noticed him leaving. He, who was not able to move without help, could slowly walk down from the second floor to the first, and then arrived on the street. But before long, one of his relatives found him. The relative was stunned to see Nareshbhai walking on the street. He quickly came over and grabbed Nareshbhai. Perhaps he had thought that the patient had been disoriented and wanted to carry him back home. Finding no other alternative, Nareshbhai explained that his plan to the relative and asked for his help. He also made it clear to the relative that he had resolved to go to Alipurdwar at any cost. The relative, realizing that he could not stop Nareshbhai, called for a taxi and took him to Selta train station. There he helped him get into a train bound for Alipurdwar. Nareshbhai requested the relative to send a telegram to the friend in Alipurdwar informing him of the train's arrival, day and time, so he could come to the station to pick him up. He also sincerely requested the relative not to disclose his disappearance to his family now. Otherwise, they may inform the railway police, who would then stop him on his way. The relative, supposing that he would not be able to see Nareshbhai anymore, bid him a tearful farewell.
Thank you, Pratyush, for reading. Okay, a lot happened in this portion. So I'm curious, Yukta, why did Nareshbhai secretly decide to go see Sri Sri Thakura?
Jagu, Nareshbhai decided to secretly go visit Thakura to get help for his sickness. Jagu.
Exactly, yes. He believed Sri Sri Thakura was his last hope. And right before we started reading this part, we were talking about, why hard things make us ask deeper questions and push us to do things we might have not done before. So at this point, he really had nothing else that he could rely on for hope. And so even though he was very weak, he trusted that meeting Thakura was worth every difficulty. So with that, Simran, how did Nareshbhai get the money for the train ticket?
Chikarma, Narishbai, he found a money purse under his pillow, and that one of his relatives, somewhat left it there, Chikar.
Jaguru, yes. He unexpectedly found a purse under his pillow that someone had left. And I think this is a really neat moment in the story where even in our lives, blessings like this happen all the time. Things unexpectedly happen. We might not be able to explain them, but they're little moments, little miracles that help us get to the next chapter or the next thing that we're going after. So in this case, Naresh Pai believed that this was Takura's way of helping him make the journey. So, Jimmy, in this case, which was greater, Naresh Pai's physical weakness or his determination?
Jaguru, his determination.
Jaguru, yes, exactly, his determination. Even though his body was failing, his faith and resolve gave him the courage to do something everyone thought was impossible. So, Jimmy, can you also tell us, do you think courage means not being afraid, or is it okay to be afraid, and can you still be courageous?
Jaguru, you can be courageous and be afraid, but also like not be afraid as well. Jaguru.
Jaguru, yeah. I think that courage means moving forward even when you're afraid because something is more important than your fear. So, like you said, sometimes you can have no fear and be courageous. Sometimes you can have fear and still be courageous. But I think the thing that we should get from this is a lot of times you don't have to wait until the fear subsides. Oftentimes, when you act, that's when your courage comes from because you're acting, you're moving forward, and so you're making progress towards whatever it is that thing that you're doing that might be scary feels like in the moment. And then I'm curious, Aditi, why do you think genuine faith often requires action instead of simply waiting?
Jagru, I think that if you have genuine faith, you would just do it instead of waiting for something else to happen because you know that whatever ends up happening in the end, that it'll all be right for you and the correct path is set out for you already. Jagru.
Jaguru, I really like how you said that. If we wait, we're not helping ourselves. And Takura has told us again and again, he can't do what we can do for ourselves. We have to do those things for ourselves so he can do those things that we can't. In this case, we just talked about how Naresh Pai somehow found money under his pillow. Takura is doing things for us that we don't know we need, but we have to do the things that we know we should do. So faith isn't passive. Naresh Pai here, he prayed, but he also got on the train. One of my favorite quotes in life is, you know, you can pray a lot for the bus to come, but when the bus comes, you have to run to get on it. You can't just wait and assume that you'll get on the bus. So his belief inspired action rather than replacing it. So we should always remember that we always have to act. We cannot just wait for things to happen for us. Okay, we'll pause here. Pratyush, can you read part 3 for us now?
Jagger, yes. It was the peak of winter and it was incredibly cold in northern Bengal. On his way to Alipurdwar from Selda, Naresh Bhai had to change trains twice. After a long journey, he finally arrived in Alipurdwar. His friend had come to the station to receive him. However, not being able to recognize a nearly skeletal Naresh Bhai, he went back. After waiting for a long time at the station, Naresh Bhai received help from a gentleman and got a ride. He finally reached his destination. He was able to meet Sri Thakur there. Paying his homage, he sat down near Sri Thakur, near Thakur's feet. Someone gave him in his hand a little balya prasad, morning bhoga, which he ate. Sri Thakur then told him in a very kind voice, "Now you go and take some rest." Everyone who was present there was shocked to see Naresh Bhai's look. He appeared as though he was going to die any second. They were wondering how he could come from Kolkata all by himself. Hearing Sri Thakur's instruction, Naresh Bhai replied in a very indistinct voice, "Thakur, I do not have much time left. Whatever little time I have, I would like to sit near your feet and see you." Thakur, with a smile, nodded his head approvingly. Everyone was moved by the incident and had tears in his or her eyes. Naresh Bhai sat there quietly, listening to Sri Thakur's discussions. The next incident was even more incredible. It was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Naresh Bhai was served lunch. There was a whole full plate full of khichdi, many different types of fries, a lot of sweets, kheer, and a small bowl full of ghee. With utmost shock, a totally dumbfounded Naresh Bhai looked at his friend, who was also present there. His friend then replied, "All these are Shishi Thakur's prasad. He has asked you to eat all of these." Naresh Bhai, who was not able to digest even fruit juice, started eating without any complaints. But after he finished everything, he was a bit nervous that he would get diarrhea due to indigestion. Surprisingly, he did not have any problem at all. After lunch, he had a good nap. When he got up in the evening, he felt fresh and energetic.
Jagru Pratyush, thank you for reading. Okay, some more surprising things have happened. So let's talk about what those were. Jagrat, what did Sri Sri Thakura tell Naresh Bhai to do after they first met?
So
Jagrat?
after Namesh Mai met Sri Sri Thakur, he ate a little bit of prasad, and Sri Sri Thakur told him that he should take some rest. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. He kindly told him to rest because he cared about him. And yes, you actually anticipated my next questions, which were about eating all of the prasad. And Jagrat, what happened when he ate all of Thakura's prasad?
When he ate all the prasad, after he was a bit nervous that he would get diarrhea, but he didn't have any problem. And after he ate the prasad, he decided to take a nap. And when he got up in the evening, he felt fresh and energetic.
Exactly. Instead of becoming sick from eating the prasad, he actually felt better. And like you said, he slept peacefully. He woke up feeling even stronger. So, Sanvi, why do you think Naresh Bhai obeyed Thakura's instruction to eat everything, even though he was afraid?
Jagru, even though he was afraid, his utmost devotion and love for Thakura came in front of that, and he was just courageous because he had so much respect for Thakura and he wanted to spend his last days with him, so he would obey everything he said. Jagru.
Jai Guru, yes, you're exactly right. He trusted Sri Sri Thakura completely. And like you said, his faith became stronger than his fear. So at this point, he did what Thakura told him to do. Absolutely. So in this case, let's see. Shrija, why do you think Naresh Bhai never actually asked Thakura to cure his illness?
Hey, Grandma. He hadn't asked Tucker to recover yet because Tucker was like telling him and giving him instructions, like of what to do while his stay there. But then soon he did say that he didn't have much time left and he would like to sit next to Tucker's feet. Baker.
Jai Guru. Yeah, I think by that point, his greatest concern had shifted from saving his body to just finding meaning and spiritual liberation. So at that point, his priorities had changed. He no longer cared about his physical getting well again. His priorities were more, how can I just spend this last time with Thakur and be content with that? So, given that, Aishi, how does this change the way we think about prayer?
Jagru, this makes us think that like even in our darkest times, we have to we have to trust Thakura and pray to him and show him our true devotion and love, and he will help us on the right path. Jagru.
Jai Guru, yes, absolutely. I think prayer isn't only about asking God to remove our problems. sometimes it's about asking for wisdom, peace, purpose, and closeness to the divine. All of these problems that we face from time to time, we achieve happiness once we overcome those problems. Everything that we have to work through, that's the thing that brings us happiness, because we see within ourselves that, oh wow, we're strong enough to overcome this, and we're proud by how much resilience or determination we've shown. So that happiness comes from the other side of the problem. So I think it's really nice to see how Naresh Pai in this moment, he prayed to just spend time with Thakura. His concern at this moment wasn't just about how he physically could get better. Okay, Pratyush, I put you to work today. If you could wrap us up with part 4, that would be great.
Jagger, for sure. Mentioning Naresh Bhai's recovery, Sri Sri Thakura told Pragyananda Maharaj, he, Naresh Bhai, had not asked me for recovery from his illness. All he had said was, Thakur, my life was wasted in vain. I could not achieve anything. All I have now, before my life ends, is only the suffering from the illness. Kindly do whatever is necessary for the liberation of my soul. In Alipurdwar itself, Naresh Bhai received initiation from Sri Sri Thakura. After the initiation, Sri Sri Thakura stood up and asked Naresh Bhai, do pranam to me. Naresh Bhai, in spite of trying hard, could not prostrate before Sri Sri Thakura. He was not just too weak, but his tummy had bulged out as well. So he somehow bowed his head down on the ground. At that time, Sri Sri Thakura sat on his seat and picked up Naresh Bhai's head from the ground. He then rubbed Naresh Bhai's forehead on his right foot that was resting on the top of his left thigh. Immediately, Naresh Bhai felt as if an electric current flew all over his body. At the same moment, he heard Sri Sri Thakura's grave voice. You may go and perform your worldly duties now. I will bear all your burdens. Naresh Bhai spent about 3 months in Alipurdwar. Then, when he returned home, neither his family nor relatives were able to recognize him. He was not the same skeleton-looking person, could not get out of bed without assistance. He was in full health then. Devotees of Saraswata Sangha saw Naresh Bhai in good physical shape forever after that. Jai.
Jai Guru Pratyush. Okay, I'm glad we made it through the entirety of the reading so that we can now talk about it all together. So, Sharlav, what happened when Sri Sri Thakura touched Naresh Bhai's forehead with his foot?
Jai Guru, when Thakura did that, all of Naresh Bhai's sickness and bad condition got the burden of Thakura, and then so Naresh Bhai felt amazing, but then Thakura had to then Thakura was sick and had to do all of it. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru, you said that really beautifully. We'll have some others kind of say what you just mentioned about taking the burdens, but you're exactly right. Naresh Bhai felt something like electricity flow through his whole body. And Sharlav, what was different when Naresh Bhai returned home?
Jai Guru, when he returned home, he was in good condition, and his relatives were thinking of how he became in this condition, and after that he was in good condition for the rest of his life. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru, yeah, it's so amazing. He was healthy again. His family could hardly believe that he was the same person. So, Naitik, what do you think Thakura meant when he said, I will bear all your burdens?
Jai Guru, I think Thakura, realized how much the Naresh Bhai had, and was like you go and live your life to its fullest, and then I'll take your burdens for you. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru, yeah. And I think by what he meant of taking his burdens is he was assuring Naresh Bhai that he would not have to face life's challenges alone. The same goes for us too. A true guru supports us spiritually even through difficult times. So sometimes we go through really, really hard things and we think, where is Takuro? Why don't we feel supported? Where is the help that should come for us? But actually, he's already bearing all of our burdens. We don't know how deep those hardships that we're facing could truly be if we didn't have his protection. So, given that, Aditi, why do you think spiritual transformation often begins inside ourselves before others can see it outside?
Jaguru, I think that spiritual transformation often begins like inside yourself because like at first you begin to kind of like realizes the changes and like how you view the world, and then like those changes cause your actions to change and like your beliefs to change over time, and then other people can slowly see that. Jaguru.
Jai Guru, yeah. Real change usually starts in your heart with faith, trust, and surrender. In the story, too, we saw how all of those things actually were the things that healed Nourish Pai. We saw that science and going to doctors, none of that helped, but Nourish Pai changed within himself and had true utmost faith and devotion in Takura, so much so that he didn't even ask to be cured. All of those things, opening our heart to Takura and ultimately kind of devoting all of our time and actions towards his purpose helps us heal and allows us to experience his divine grace. So, Yukta, what do you think is the biggest lesson this story teaches us about the relationship between effort and God's grace?
Jago, I think effort and God's grace is all connected by faith. Um, to to observe God's grace in our lives, we need to have faith in them, but also ourselves, and we need to take the first step. Jago.
Jai Guru, you said that really well. I love how you connected faith in there as well. Naresh Pai did everything within his power. He searched, he sacrificed, he persevered, but the final transformation came through God's grace. So, spiritual life often asks us to make our greatest effort while remaining humble enough to recognize that not everything is in our control. I'll ask one last person, then we'll wrap up. Let's see. Shreyasi, what do you think, or what for you was the biggest lesson that you learned from this story?
Jago, the biggest lesson for me from this story is that I guess if you do everything in your power that you can to be closer to Takara and stay on your spiritual path and do your duty and what you've been guided to do, then everything else will sort of be made to fall into place. So long as you do what is in your power, then you shouldn't really have to worry about anything else. Jago.
Jai Guru, I really like that. Whatever we do that is in our power, Takuru will absolutely take care of the rest. And that goes for truly anything. So, with that, we are out of time. Naresh Pai's story reminds us that faith isn't just believing when life is easy, it's continuing to take the next step even when everything seems impossible. He traveled across the country with almost no strength because he believed there was still hope. And while his body was healed, perhaps the even greater miracle was a transformation of his heart. So this week, let's ask ourselves, when life becomes difficult, will we let hardship pull us away from God, or will we let us bring it closer? Like Nourish Pai, we should also have the courage to keep taking one faithful step at a time, trusting that Takura is walking with us and carrying burdens that we cannot carry alone. So, with that, I thank each of you for spending your time in our discussion today. I beg for forgiveness for any mistakes that I might have made. Today, I believe Timmy has Pari and Pabavini Siva. So, Timmy, please go ahead when you're ready. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. I'm very glad to have my Pali Seva today. Summer vacation is just about to end and school is gonna open. Now, nowadays, after I shower, I'm doing pranam at Chakura's feet and reading my Parichapatra. I'm li- I'm enjoying how slowly I am doing Thakura Seva. May Thakura always involve me in his Seva and keep me at his lotus feet. Jai Guru.
ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ ଆଜି ମୋର ପାଳି ଅଛି ମୋର ଦିବ୍ୟାଂଶ ବହୁତ ଖୁସି ଲାଗୁଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ମୋ ଦେହ ଟିକେ ଠିକ ନାହିଁ ଭଲ ନାହିଁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ କି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ବେଶୀ କିଛି ମୁଁ ଆଜି କରିପାରିଲିନି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲି ଘରର କର୍ତ୍ତା ମୁଁ କେବଳ ତାଙ୍କର ସେବକ ତାଙ୍କ ନିୟମ ଅନୁସାରେ ମୁଁ ସବୁବେଳେ ଚାଲିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରେ ସକାଳ ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟା ପୂଜା ପରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଟାଇମ୍ ପାଏ ଭୋଗ ନିବେଦନ ପାଇଁକି ମୁଁ ଭୋଗ ରାନ୍ଧିକି ଦିଏ କିନ୍ତୁ ଏବେ 2-3 ମାସ ହେଲାଣି ଶାଶୁ ଶ୍ୱଶୁର ଆସିଛନ୍ତି ବହୁତ ବିଜି ରହିଯାଉଛି ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ରାନ୍ଧିକି ଦେଇପାରୁନି ମୁଁ ତଥାପି ମୋର ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ପ୍ରତି ସବୁବେଳେ ମୋର ମନ ତାଙ୍କରି ପାଖରେ ଥାଏ କେମିତି ସକାଳେ ଜଲ୍ଦି ପୂଜା କରିବି ଅଫିସରେ ଜଲ୍ଦି ପୂଜା ସାରିବି ମୋର ତାପରେ କାମ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବି ଯାହା ହଉ କିଛି ଭଲ ଲାଗୁଛି ଆସିଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର ସେବା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସୁଯୋଗ ପାଉଛି ଏ ବାପା ଆମର ତାଙ୍କ ଦେହ ବହୁତ ଖରାପ ଥିଲା ଏବେ ଆଇସିୟୁରେ ଥିଲେ 6-7 ଦିନ ହେଲାଣି କାଲି ଘରକୁ ଫେରିଛନ୍ତି ଟିକେ ମୁଁ ବେଶୀ ବହୁତ ଟେନସନରେ ଥିଲି କିନ୍ତୁ ସବୁବେଳେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ନାମ ଭଲରେ ଚାଲିଥିଲା ତାଙ୍କ ସୁଗର ବହୁତ ଲୋ ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲା ଏମର୍ଜେନ୍ସିରେ ଯାଇଥିଲି ସ୍ୱାଧ୍ୟାୟ ମୁଁ ସବୁବେଳେ ଟିକେ ଟିକେ କରେ ସବୁଠୁ ମୋର ବଡ ଭୁଲ ହଉଛି କି ମୁଁ ଦିନ ଲିପି ପୂରଣ କରିପାରୁନି ସବୁଦିନ ଭାବୁଛି ହଁ ଆଜି ରାତିରେ କରିବି ପାଇକି ଏମିତି ସବୁବେଳେ ମୁଁ ମୋର ଭୁଲ ହିଁ ହେଇଯାଉଛି ସେଇଟା ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବି କେମିତି ଏଇ ମାସରେ କେମିତି ମୁଁ ସବୁଦିନ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ କରେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ମୋର ଏତିକି ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ନିବେଦନ ମତେ କେମିତି ତାଙ୍କର ଆଦର୍ଶ ଓ ଅନୁପ୍ରାଣିତ କରନ୍ତୁ ଆଉ ମୋର ତାଙ୍କ ପ୍ରତି ଭକ୍ତି ନିର୍ଭରତା ନିଷ୍ଠା ଓ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ ଆହୁରି ବଢୁ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ଉପରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦ ଥାଉ ଏତିକି କହିବାକୁ ଚାହିଁବି
ଜୟଗୁରୁ ସୋନାଲି ମା ଠାକୁର ଆଜ୍ଞା ଆଜ୍ଞା ମଧ୍ୟାହ୍ନ ଭୋଗ ପାଇଁ ଭକ୍ତାନ ପ୍ରସାଦ ପାଇଁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଇଭିନିଂ ପୂଜା ପାଇଁ ଜୟଗୁରୁ
ଆଜିର ଅଧିବେଶନ ଶେଷ ହେବାକୁ ଯାଉଛି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଏହାପରେ ମଧ୍ୟାହ୍ନ ଭୋଗ ନିବେଦନ କରାଯିବ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ଅଟେଣ୍ଡାନ୍ସ ପରେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଭୋଗ ପାଇବେ ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟାବେଳେ ନିତ୍ୟ ପୂଜା 6:30 ପାଇଁକି ମୁଁ ନିମନ୍ତ୍ରଣ ଜଣାଉଛି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଜୟ
ଖାଲି ମା ଗୋଟିଏ ଖାଲି କରେକ୍ସନ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି କେବଳ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ନୁହେଁ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଠାକୁର ଲାଗିଲା ପରେ ସେଟା ପ୍ରସାଦ ହେଲା ଭକ୍ତମାନେ ପ୍ରସାଦ ପାଇବେ ଭକ୍ତାନ ଭୋଗ ପାଇବେନି ଠାକୁର ଭୋଗ ଗ୍ରହଣ କରିବେ ଭକ୍ତାନ ପ୍ରସାଦ ପାଇବେ ଜୟଗୁରୁ ଜାଗ୍ରତ if you are there Jagrot please invite for next voice session Jayaguru
Jaguru, I invite Sri Thakura, all boys, mas, and young aspirants to participate on our next session on August 9th, 2026. Jaguru.
ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ ପ୍ରାଣନାଥ ଠାକୁର ଆସନ୍ତା ରବିବାର ଅଗଷ୍ଟ 9 ତାରିଖ ଦିନ ଜାଗ୍ରତର ମୋର ଆଉ ସ୍ନିଗ୍ଧା ମାଙ୍କର ସେବା ପାଳି ଅଛି ତେଣୁ ଠାକୁରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ନିମନ୍ତ୍ରଣ ଜଣାଉଛୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ସହିତ ସମସ୍ତ ଭାଇ ମା ଓ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ନିମନ୍ତ୍ରଣ ଜଣାଉଛୁ ଠିକ ସମୟରେ ସେବାରେ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ରହି ଆମକୁ ସେବା କରିବାର ସୁଯୋଗ ଦେବେ ଏବଂ ପୂଜାଟିକୁ ସାଫଲ୍ୟମଣ୍ଡିତ କରିବେ ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ
ସୋନାଲି ମା ପାଇଁ କ୍ଷମା
ଜୟଗୁରୁ ଆଜି ମୋର ଆଉ ଦିବ୍ୟାଂଶଙ୍କର ପାଳି ଥିଲା ମୋର ଆଉ ସେବା ନିରତ ଭାଇ ମା ମାନଙ୍କ ଯଦି କିଛି ଭୁଲ ଦୋଷ ତ୍ରୁଟି ରହିଯାଇଛି, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ମହାରାଜ ସମସ୍ତ ଭାଇ ମା ଓ ୟଙ୍ଗର୍ସଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ କ୍ଷମା ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରୁଛି। ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ।
ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ। ଆମର ବିଦାୟ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନାରେ ଭୁଲରେ ରଶ୍ମି ଚୌଧୁରୀ ମାଙ୍କ ନାଁ ରହିଯାଇଥିଲା। ନାଉ ଇଟ୍ ହାଜ୍ ବିନ୍ କରେକ୍ଟେଡ୍। ସେଟା ଅର୍ପିତା ମା ବିଦାୟ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ବୋଲିବେ, ତାଙ୍କୁ ହିଁ ଆସାଇନ୍ କରାଯାଇଥିଲା, କିନ୍ତୁ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମଟି ଭୁଲ ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲା। ଅର୍ପିତା ମା। ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ।
ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ। ଦୟାମୟ ଶ୍ରୀ ଚରଣୀ ଏହି ନିବେଦନ ଦୟାମୟ ଶ୍ରୀ ଚରଣୀ ଏହି ନିବେଦନ ନିରନ୍ତର ସର୍ବଦା କରିବି ସ୍ମରଣ ନିରନ୍ତର ସର୍ବଦା କରିବି ସ୍ମରଣ ଏହା ଛଡ଼ା ନ ରହିବ ଇତର କାମନା ଏହା ଛଡ଼ା ନ ରହିବ ଇତର କାମନା ଏହି ମାତ୍ର ଭିକ୍ଷା ଏତିକି ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ଏହି ମାତ୍ର ଭିକ୍ଷା ଏତିକି ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ତୁମେ ପ୍ରଭୁ ହିଁ ଦାସ ଏହି ଅହଙ୍କାର ତୁମେ ପ୍ରଭୁ ହିଁ ଦାସ ଏହି ଅହଙ୍କାର ଏକମାତ୍ର ରାଜିବା ପ୍ରବଳ ସଂସାର ପ୍ରଭୁ ଏକମାତ୍ର ରାଜିବା ପ୍ରବଳ ସଂସାର ଏଥିଲାଗି ଯେବେ କାଳେ ନ ମିଳିବ ପତି ଏଥିଲାଗି ଯେବେ କାଳେ ନ ମିଳିବ ପତି ତଥାପି ରଖିବି ମନେ ଅନନ୍ତ ତ୍ରୁପତି ପ୍ରଭୁ ତଥାପି ରଖିବି ମନେ ଅନନ୍ତ ତ୍ରୁପତି ତୁମରି ଦୃଷ୍ଟି ଭିତରେ तुम्हारी जगते तुम्हारी दृष्टि भीतरे तुम्हारी जगते पड़ी थी बेजाही जाही तुम्हारी इंगिते प्रभु पड़ी थी बेजाही जाही तुम्हारी इंगिते वंश परे रचनर अभिनव रूप परे रचनर अभिनव रूप देखी देखी आसी जीव असल स्वरूप प्रभु देखी देखी आसी जीव असल स्वरूप मिलाई न पारे जीवे तब जंत्र स्वर मिलाई न पारे जीवे तब जंत्र स्वर तब नमे बाई जीवी भंग बीणा मोर प्रभु तब नमे बाई जीवी भंग बीणा मोर शुणु बन शुणु प्रभु मोहि दास एतिकी संसार प्रभु तुम्हें प्रभु मोहि दास एतिकी संसार प्रेममय श्री चरणे करे निवेदन 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 तुम जय गाउथिबि सारा जीवन प्रभु तुम जय गाउथिबि सारा जीवन जय गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय
गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय
जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय 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 जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु जय जय गुरु जय জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয়
জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু
জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় 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 গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় গুরু 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 জয় জয় গুরু 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 জয় 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 শ্রী ঠাকুরের ব্রহ্মানন্দে বলে কুমার শ্রী গুরু মহারাজের জয় জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু।
ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ ଭାଇମାନେ ମାମାନେ ତିନିଟା ସଂଘ ପୂଜା ମିସ୍ କରିଦେଲି ସୋ ନାଇସ୍ ଟୁ ବି ବ୍ୟାକ୍ had a very eventful trip ଇଣ୍ଡିଆ ଯାଇଥିଲି 18 ଦିନ ପାଇଁ ଏନିୱେ ବିଫୋର ଆଟେଣ୍ଡାନ୍ସ ଖାଲି ଗୋଟେ କଥା କହିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି ତ ସମ୍ମିଳନୀ ପୂର୍ବ ଆମର ସଂଘ ପୂଜାରେ କହିଥିଲି ସେଟା ଯେ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ବନ୍ଦନା ବୋଲା ଯାଉଛି ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ସେସନରେ ଆପଣ ନୋଟିସ୍ କରିଥିବେ